Hello, so welcome to podcast 4. I hope you like the first 3 podcasts. Just to touch on average, the podcast reach about 1,000 people. If it's shared around 10 times, it reaches around 7,000 people. So if you are enjoying the podcast, please like and share them, because it does really help to get to the masses. So this week we find ourselves outside Natalie Bowbanks' house. Natalie is the sort of person, after speaking with her, you find yourself signing up for some sort of crazy race. She's just completed her 50th marathon in London. She used to run when she was in school, so I'm really interested to hear her journey from then until now. She's had some really great achievements. She is a very energetic person, leaves an impression on people. Very motivational, very inspirational. That's why we're here. I'm really just interested in hearing what drives Natalie, or Nat as some people know her. Before we start that, this week's podcast comes to you from the Newry City Merchant 10K, which is on at 7 PM on the 10th of May, which is a Thursday evening. It's a 3-loop course. It's a 10k PB course. Used to be known as the Lisburn Cup, I believe. Very fast course, starts around the Quays. It's about a mile flat, a nice gradient, not too heavy up, which changes the muscles. Nice bit of recovery coming back down again. Allows you to go flat out again on the flat. Really good PB course. I'll be there taking photographs. It's capped at around 200 runners. Beautiful medal. It's getting very close, so make sure you log on and sign into that. Alright, let's get in here and see what Nat's got to say for herself. Natalie.
Robbie.
I want to hear then, I suppose, from the beginning, right? Because on your Facebook page you have a picture of yourself, mirror imaging yourself from when you were sports day, when you were really young until now. Very similar photograph. So your running sort of started back in school, was it?
Not really. I never continued it sort of after school at all until I think it was about 9 years ago. Just sibling rivalry, and
so you've got.
My dad would have done a bit of running. He did a few ultras and
very good.
Belfast Marathon, Dublin Marathon. So it was always there. It was something I always talked about, but I never did. Never had the confidence to go out on the road. So I bought a treadmill and I moved the kitchen table out of the kitchen, and there's a huge treadmill, not like your little one that you buy in August, like a big one that you get in the gym. A huge treadmill.
It was about 9 years ago.
Yeah. And just ran. I can remember the first time I got up to 10k, it felt like this was unreal. 10k, huge.
Was that on the treadmill?
That was on the treadmill. Hadn't been out. And then I think I did. I found a 5-mile loop around where I lived that measured in the car. Didn't have Garmin, just a wee stopwatch, and I just ran that repeatedly. Wrote down my times. I actually have a book, I think, somewhere with all my times and distance still written in.
What sort of times were you running then?
It was alright. It was about 9-minute miles. Yeah. But then when I got a Garmin, I realised actually it wasn't 5 miles. But I'd been doing the distance at the time and working out my splits or my pace. I love my stats. So, and then went out a few times. Registered then for Matthew Nicholson's 10k in Armagh. Did it in April.
What year was that?
That must have been 2009. 2009. Puked up at about 3 or 4 miles. Hence why I hate Matthew Nicholson's marathon.
And your dad then, he was doing a few hundreds. Is that when you were younger?
Yeah.
Because most people I speak to didn't really have. There wasn't that many people running when we were younger.
Well, it would have been, I suppose, 20 years ago.
And when you done, so in your school sports day, I actually read one of your stories last night. You got your hair caught in the net. And nothing really, did they have any school cross country or anything like that? No.
I never did it, no. Never.
No. So your running really started about 9 years ago,
Yeah,
really?
that was it.
And what was the main motivation then to start you off then? You said civil rivalry. Is it that? Was it fitness? Was it just you wanted
It was
to do
just
something?
the adrenaline as I, accomplished a new distance. It was such a big thing. It just felt so good. I had so much confidence, a lot of doubt, but I can do this. Like I did the 10k and thought I can do a marathon. Pure ignorance.
Just straight off, you thought after the 10k, you thought yourself, yeah, I could do a
Yeah.
marathon, no problem.
So in April then I registered for Belfast.
So you ran the
few weeks
10k
ago.
in.
Time-wise? Or,
No, I mean date wise. So when was that? It was in
well,
April,
yeah,
and then you registered for
Belfast.
like a month later.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think I went out, the most I ran was, I think I upped it to about 12 miles.
Brilliant. So how did
Going
that
to
go?
my car. It was alright, because, as I say, I didn't have a Garmin. I just ran just for how I felt. Never felt under pressure. Not saying I felt brilliant, like the day after I wouldn't be able to walk, but just ignorance and not knowing. That not knowing is good for me. Like if I'm doing a marathon or a new race, I never look at the route, I never look at the weather.
It's part of the adventure.
You can't change it, so just go for it.
So wouldn't be many people running Belfast then, was there? Or was there a lot of relay runners, I suppose? It's not a big. It wouldn't have been a big supported race.
No,
back then.
definitely not.
So you wouldn't have really got that hype of.
No.
That you would have got in London there the other day, like so.
No, nowhere near it.
And,
but for me, that is my first marathon. I love it. I know Belfast gets a lot of negativity, but I love it.
Yeah. What was your time then? Can you remember?
4 hours 34.
Jeez, that was phenomenal. Wasn't it?
Better than time. I never stopped. I never even thought about walking. Didn't stop once. And even after all the marathons I've done, I'd say I've only done that about half a dozen times.
And yeah, it's just been in that relaxed state, isn't it?
Yeah.
With no anxiety or anything, just enjoying the experience. So no training really. 12 miles was the most training.
Yeah.
And how does your training? How's that adopted now? Do you sort of carry that with you? Is that
what you say? I'm not very good for
yeah.
training programs at all. Have every good intention. I'll write them out. I'll study it, and then I don't do it.
It doesn't work for you, really.
Huh?
That doesn't really work for you then.
No.
It doesn't really fit.
No. One day I will.
Yeah.
One day I will get a program and stick to it, but no, generally.
So you run some really good times.
Mm.
What is your PB profile?
PB.
PB profile, so 5k.
I've only ever done a park run. I think it's 21 something. 10k isn't that. It's 44 minutes or something. Half 137, and then marathon 319.
Yeah, 319.
319.
So what race was that?
That was Belfast.
Belfast. When?
5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago. So you were running about 4 years for that. How was the training for that?
Funny, I had this conversation in London last week. One of the coaches from a gym I used to go to, one of the other coaches had done me out training program, and it was just a real simple strength and conditioning program. Finished off with a short interval session on the treadmill. I did less running than I do now. I'd have done circuits once or twice a week, and that's
a bit more strengthening.
Yeah.
And when you say strengthening from the program, you done circuits obviously, which was strengthening you. What type of sessions?
It was a lot of core.
So it was strengthening sessions off the road as such, like in the gym?
Oh, in the gym, yeah.
Very good.
And running 2 or 3 times a week. Never did any long runs. The most long run I would have done would have been 16 miles. Never did 20 or any more.
Yeah.
And it worked.
So there's a book I'm reading at the minute, which a couple of guys spoke to me about, called the Hanson's Marathon Method. The max is 16 miles.
Yeah.
So it is like, so I'm really interested in that. Some of the guys struggling on to break the 3:30 and just tried it. And then one night ran 3:08. It's strange that the longest run was 16 miles. But it goes into the physics of why it actually happens.
Right.
So I'm interested when you said 16 miles.
Yeah.
You know, the ninth time. So London was your 50th marathon, great number to hit London on. The hottest on the record, I believe. So where else have you ran?
I've ran, I've done London, that was 4 times I've done London. I ran Berlin last year, so I entered the ballot for Berlin and New York for like the past 3 years, never got in. And then last year, got into Berlin, got into New York. Like, flip, they're what, 6 weeks apart?
Yeah.
But absolutely skint.
I was going to say the expense of it, like.
Yeah. But it's too good because the past few years I've just got caught up in doing loads of marathons.
Yeah.
Too many. And sort of said this year I wouldn't do that. So I had to defriend Clive Nesbitt and Maddie Nick. But
Liverpool of just entering races. Like.
it's just such a social scene here, you know, and you sort of think, oh, do I really want to do it? But maybe Donna Owens will be there or somebody, and you think, oh, sure, be good crack.
And it always is good crack.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it.
Yeah.
Do you do Lanzarote or anything?
Did Lanzarote. Did it.
How did you find that with the heat?
Yeah, it was hot again. Doesn't help again when you go somewhere with Clive Nesbitt and you go on about a 24-hour drinking bender 2 days before. It was good. Quite funny story, when I was running along, so it was all cups of water. And so you were lifting 2 cups at the water stations and drinking one and pouring one over your head or down your neck, and I think it was about 15 or 16 miles. And the green cups were suddenly red, so I lifted 2 red cups over the head, Coke. And the Spanish were looking at me going, are you crazy, woman? And there I was with Coke all down my head. It had about 24 degrees, sticky as hell.
Oh dear.
But it was good. It was a good marathon, it was a good atmosphere, you were away, you were on holiday, but to me not the most exciting route.
Yeah.
It's a poor complaint, but you were just 13 miles on the seafront, 13 miles back.
Right, okay. So London then, it was your
London.
50th marathon, great achievement, well done.
Thank you.
How did that go?
My training's been so poor this year, just the weather. Weather played havoc, and I've just got a big wimp all of a sudden that I don't want to go out in the cold. I was sick earlier on in the year, chest infection after chest infection, so that actually I had that in New York, and I never really shifted it.
So New York was November past?
New York was November, yeah. And I went skiing for a fortnight, so my training was just, I got a few long runs in, so I'd been content with sub 4 in London.
Yeah.
I always set myself 3 goals, every race, 3 goals, bronze, silver and gold. So obviously you're going to go for gold, so for me gold in London would have been a 3:30, but I knew I wasn't going to get gold. Silver 3:45 and bronze sub 4, because it just helps your mind. So when gold isn't going to happen, when your goal pace isn't going to happen, you need something to mentally channel your mind into something else.
100%.
So you're not losing, you're just readjusting.
Yeah. So the race itself is very warm.
Roasting.
You know,
Knew it was going to be warm, but like 9:30, started at 10, 9:30. The sun was just beating down, roasting. Sweat, like obviously you sweat, but sweat was trickling down my head, and I was like, this is.
What was the buzz? Which must have been really positive. Everybody saying, "Yeah, it's going to be a brilliant day today. There's no heat. It's nice and cool. There's no wind." No, everyone's saying, "Oh no, it's going to be so hot today." Like.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. To me, the time did not matter.
Yeah.
In London. Well, I say that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed I've been over 4 hours,
Yeah.
but so I did like you in Boston. I said Right, I'll go out 8:15s, try and hold them as long as I can. It was about 8:10s, and then 16 mile, it was just like, boom, somebody's hit you. Just cramped up, and it's the first time I've ever cramped.
Nothing worse.
I've thought I've cramped up before, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I've just like needed the stretch, but this was gone.
It is horrible, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
especially that early stage as well.
Yeah.
Mile 16.
But I just adapted myself, and I said, right, you need to finish this. I always then turn it into, okay, so what's the worst case scenario here? How long have I got? So actually, well, Natalie, if you run 10-minute miles, you're still going to get under 4. You just give yourself a wee bit to play with, and then you start eating into the 10 miles, and you're like, oh no.
Panic.
But I ran to 0.8 miles, walked to 0.9, and then finished the mile off, and that's what I did. And that was enough for me just to still give it some structure.
And I think that's very important when you're a marathon running. So near the end, for me, 23, 24 miles, if I have to walk, I move to 10 steps walking, 100 steps running, just so I've got a structure.
Yeah.
Or else it just can go totally pear-shaped. As long as you've got a structure and you're still working a plan, you know it's just patience then, because you're going to come to the finish line, you know. So, or else you just drift off and you're walking 100 steps before you know it's feeling sorry for yourself.
It's easy done.
And so you've had a few wins in some races as well.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Well, mainly just local ones.
East Coast. East Antrim.
Yeah. A few of them.
You take your wins. So nice to get a marathon. What about Armagh?
I won Armagh, yeah.
What happened in Armagh? What was it?
The marathon.
Was it the marathon, was it?
Yeah.
That's right, I was doing 10k, it was 4 loops, isn't it?
Yes.
I used to do the 10k loop and I was just coming up behind you and you were just sort of finishing.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it, she's running faster than me. I'm only doing 1 loop here. This is not good.
It was, somebody could text me during the week a picture of my number, and it was 118.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
This is too good not to. And I didn't feel in good form. Berlin was my real focus, because I sort of thought I could give Berlin a good bash. And I was like, right, so text Donna Owens. I think Donna was number 18 or 11 or something. I said, Donna, get your wig ready. So the two of us dressed up as 118 girls, and being in the fancy dress just took all pressure off me. I had no intentions to go out running hard. I didn't really run hard, just ran really, really comfortable. My head was going to explode wearing the wig. Big time, my head, I could feel my brain swelling. I was just ticking along nicely, and Jared Boyle, I think he was doing the relay, and then turning it into his long run as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And a few words with him on the way around because he's going too hard, and I was like, if you're running with me, slow down or just bugger off. So he sort of kept me on pace for a while, and I just felt it was one of those days. You don't plan it and you feel good.
Seems to be, isn't it, when the pressure's off, the mind allows the body then to flow a bit better. Because really the mind's trying to work against you, it's trying to protect you, as simple as that. And when it feels that it's a risk in any way or form, it tries to shut you down. So it does, just to protect you. And I think nearly all but my PB time, nearly all my good times have been in those situations.
Not really.
So my second best time was Edinburgh, where I hadn't trained for a marathon, and I won at free entry. So we just went over as a training run, and I think I ran it in 3:32. But it was only till mile 23 I thought, I'm actually going to break 3:30 here. I panicked.
Wow.
I was like, oh, then the walls just come tumbling in, because I didn't look at my watch at all. It's just a training run. I was like, holy smoke, like. And it was the same in New York when I ran at 3:37. Just, you know, went on beer the day before. Didn't care. Got my time in Dublin, and bang. So things. It's an important thing. I've seen people at the starting line who are sub 3 hour runners, and well, actually haven't done it in the marathon, but do it week in, week out in their training, and they're just so built up the race and so nervous and they sort of come in 3:15.
Got it.
You know, so there's a mental aspect of that most runners don't focus on.
Yeah.
It's how to get yourself into that mental state. What happened in Monaghan as well, if I can remember in Monaghan. I don't know how I remember all these things.
I know you remember more than me. So Monaghan has the.
So it's a back-to-back, wasn't it?
Yeah, the back-to-back. So done it.
What
years.
is back-to-back then? Marathon 2 days in a row.
Marathon 2 days in a row. Marathon on the Saturday, marathon on the Sunday. Lovely. I love it as an event. Leslie, one of the organisers, he's absolutely brilliant. It's just a really, really nice event, nice route. You know, you're going through Rossmore Park.
What time of year is that?
It's October. Yes, I did it. This was 4 years ago now. I came third overall over the 2 days. Well, third female. And then the next year I came second overall over the 2 days, and then last year second again.
You must be delighted with that.
Delighted, but then you look at the likes of Fran McFadden, she's won it every year.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. I think one of the years she ran the 2 days exactly the same time. Bang on. Like whatever it was, 3:35, 3:35, 2 days in a row.
And how do you find getting up the next day to run the second marathon?
You're right,
because after London, there's no way you could run a marathon.
No.
You couldn't run a 10k.
No.
So when you're just doing the one marathon,
Yeah, that's
the last thing you've got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when I go out for a 5k run or a 3 mile run, I can't run 4 miles.
Yeah.
You've just got your mind targeted
exactly.
on that. So how do you feel when you get up to run the second marathon? Well, how's the first run? How's the first marathon run? Do you take it relatively easy, or just go out and just what?
Just go out comfortable. I don't drop it back too much. Because I'm probably too much just go for broke sometimes. Obviously you don't run really hard, but I sort of think, look, you're going to be knackered the second day anyway, as long as you've got plenty of energy and eating plenty, just suck it up and get through it.
Do you find that was one of the key points then, is what you're eating? Is it more solid foods when you're running that type of race?
I'm probably the worst possible person to speak about diet.
Chocolate bars, anything at all?
Anything.
No structure to it whatsoever. You're just hungry, you eat something.
Yeah.
You just eat what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Very good.
For an event that's loops, Jaffa cakes.
Yeah.
Here, if somebody can come up with a way of carrying a Jaffa cake or Jaffa cakes on a marathon without them melting or getting squashed.
Like small baby high five sort of size Jaffa cakes, you just pop them out.
Yeah, because it works me so well.
And what do you drink? Just water with that? Or
just water.
Do you take caffeine at all? Or?
Not really. If there's a gel there, I'll take it. But the likes of in London, I made a mistake and I drank Lucozade.
Yeah.
Lucozade Sport or whatever they had, and I felt just shaky and sick.
Yeah.
I took Powerade one time in the Belfast Marathon and I just projectile vomited. Body just rejected it straight away. Don't need it.
Yeah. The second day then, I'm so interested in the second day, waking up in the morning and just envision it, getting up and go, damn it, I have to do this again today. But there's an excitement with that because it's the same social crowd, it's all going to be there and everybody's in the same sort of boat. And it's all a very strong camaraderie, I'm assuming, like, because here we go again.
Yeah. And
you get to the start line and you take off. How do the legs feel at that point?
Yeah, they're sore, but any time I've done it, when you compare your times, but you can remember, you know, oh right, okay, you're maybe only a few minutes slower than you were the day before.
Strange,
not
isn't
much,
it?
Yeah.
When I was running Dublin and New York together in the same week, Michael Inglesby was running the back-to-back, and he ran 3:45 in the first, and in the first marathon on day one, I was like, he has definitely ran too fast. Yeah. He's not going to be able to get out of bed tomorrow. And the next day he beat it by 10 seconds. He either beat it by 10 seconds or he was 10 seconds slower, but he was 3:45 again.
Unreal.
But he broke down barriers for me then, going from Dublin to New York, because I had a week's rest, and he was able to go out the very next day. And it's strange because you always have these limits, and when you challenge the limits, you're moving them, and you think actually, you know, were great at challenging our limits until you meet somebody that does something.
You're
You're like, what? You ran 10 marathons in 10 days. And that's what leads me into the 24th of June this year.
Yeah.
So I'm even remembering dates. This is great. And the Energy 24 hour.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
So first did it about 3-4 years ago.
So you did 24 hours?
As a relay. So there was a post on Facebook, so to be in a relay team you needed one female. Okay, so there was a team, Craig Mills had the team, I can't remember who else was in it, and I didn't even know Craig at this stage, and they were putting a post on Facebook, we need a female for the relay team. So the way the relay worked, it's 4 in your team, number 1 runs for 2 hours, number 2 then comes on, then number 3, number 4, and then back to number 1. And you have 4 times. Yeah, 4 times. No, 3 times. So you run for 6 hours.
How long's the loop?
At that time it was a Mary Peters track.
Oh.
So the loop was 400 metres.
That was hard.
Yeah. So they put a post up and needed a female, and I kept getting tagged in it. So I was like, right, okay, I'll give it a go. And then the 3 blokes in the team, one by one, for whatever reason, pulled out. I think it was through injury. So there was just me left with this team going, alright. I knew nothing about this event, and here I am. So I messaged Craig and I said, Craig, do you mind if I still keep the team and I'll find some others? He's like, yeah, no problem. So I sort of looked at the rows and thought, right, okay, so it says you have to have 1 female, but it doesn't say you have to have 1 man. And put the feelers out and I think I messaged Helena Dornan. I was like, Helena, are you doing anything? But of course she was doing 24. And she says, oh, I have a wee friend Claire. I'll say to her. And I immediately thought of Donna Owens. So I messaged Donna. So they agreed. So there was myself, there was Donna, and there was Claire, and we needed a 4th person. And then Eleanor Forrest. I can't remember how she popped up. And the best bit is none of us knew each other. I knew of Donna, seen her at races, everybody knows Donna. Didn't know Claire, didn't know Eleanor. And the first time the 4 of us met was at the start of this 24-hour race. Brilliant. And we clicked like that. Soul Sisters we were called. And with all our colourful tops, and to just meet somebody and be best mates. And ironically, so in the 24-hour period, all 4 of us ran exactly the same. Exactly the same, but 40 and a half miles we ran each. And to not know each other and to come together like that, so
the relay team done 160 hours.
Yeah, so we came 4th. So against teams of men.
Yeah.
Obviously all had their 1 female. We came 4th. And we were brilliant. It was just absolutely fantastic. Probably the best event I've ever done. And the 4 of us are all still best mates.
You're not helping me here now. I'm trying to avoid it.
So then did I do it the next? Yeah, I did it the next year. I was like, right, so you've done the relay, you have to up it. So there's the option of either run for 12 hours, run the 100k distance, or run 24 hours. It's like, right, I'm not running 24, I'm never going to do that, no interest.
Is it on the same Peters, Mary Peters again?
No, it moved to Victoria Park. So the distance of each loop had up from 400 metres to 1.1 miles.
Okay. Was it always the same direction? Or did they change direction? Or?
On the track it changed direction, at Victoria Park it stays the same. Okay. So I did the 100k distance. Didn't change my training, just I'd progressed from just doing 16-mile runs to actually doing 20-odd mile runs. And I've done plenty of marathons. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Did you use the marathons as your training? Sort of, it was just sort of progressing onto that.
But I never ran beyond marathon distance.
Yeah.
Still don't believe you have to. Because your heart rate, if you just pull the pace back, run slower,
that's it,
you can go on and on.
Because it's just having that perseverance, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get past that point of that your mind just gives up. Okay, you win, and let your body just go on then, isn't it? Like?
But when you're only trying to run a mere 62 miles and you're surrounded by people running for 24, running what?
Yeah.
I can't remember what Louise Smart ran that year, but it was ridiculous. So you're only small fry.
So you're doing it again this year then?
Doing it again. Going the next step up.
This third time, is it then?
Yeah.
So you're doing 100k the second time, and then you just have to progress. There's something in you that wouldn't be happy. Like, I'm not going to do 50 miles. Should have done 62 last time. So you have to do something bigger and better.
Yeah.
That's where your motivation comes from, obviously. So that's this year, the 24th and the 25th July.
23rd and 4th, I think, of June.
23rd and 24th. Yeah, there's so many people doing that.
Yeah, oh, it's massive.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the social gathering, all the. What's the best label them? I don't know. The crazy group. I don't know.
Yeah,
all the crazy group that I know. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be bigger and better this year than ever before. You're running it for a charity.
Running it for charity. Yeah. My nephew, he's got autism, and he goes to school, not more. So my sister and I trying to do a lot of fundraising this year.
And you've just a giving page up for that?
Yeah.
Which you can find on your Facebook page?
Yeah.
Like that? You do quite a bit for charity as well.
Try to. I think if you're putting yourself through these things, and somebody should get a reward for it.
Sort of comes, it's in that whole social scene, isn't it? It does so much for charity. Like, so many people doing so many different things. What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, friend of mine, Julie, is doing wheelchair push around the mall in Armagh.
Around the mall?
Yeah, around the inside of the mall.
It said marathon, so wheelchair marathon.
Yeah.
So is she planning on doing 26 miles, or it's just going on
26
and on and on?
plus, so there's 4 wheelchairs. And it's very much teamwork, so.
What is she raising money for?
Alzheimer's. Her mother's going through it at the moment, so this charity means a lot to her. So we'll be out in Armagh with buckets and wheelchairs and.
Just keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
So after 24 hour.
It's my birthday the day after it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. After that, I don't know.
So you don't think that far ahead?
No.
Like for me, and it's not that I'm really strict about it. I can see the next 4 years. It sort of scares me.
Really?
A little bit, but I'm always know where I'm going to next, sort of thing. But that's not the way you're working. You just sort of go with the flow.
Go with the flow. I have no idea what my recovery will be like after that. I really struggle with fatigue.
Yeah.
My legs are okay. You know.
What's the wonder that 50 marathons and 100k races and back-to-backs, and you struggle with fatigue.
I'm not a great sleeper, so that's my recovery's good apart from flipping tired and can't sleep.
So you don't really have any plans after that?
I don't. I would like to, like you say, get my pace back. Get back to. I nearly had it last year. Got 3:29 in Berlin.
Last year, that was
last
brilliant.
year, I felt brilliant. On the day, I felt brilliant. I was so cautious. It was the most disciplined I've ever been in a marathon, even more disciplined than my PB. I had 3:30 in the head. It was the only negative split I've ever got. And I can remember looking at my watch, it was like 7:55, so don't go any quicker. In hindsight, I could have, so only one time I've been able to say you had at least 10, 15 seconds a mile in you, more.
It's good to finish strong.
And then I'd hoped to build on that, and then I didn't. So.
You're greedy again.
Aye.
You see that?
Yeah.
It's funny that, because when I broke 3:30, I've only done it the once. I was chasing it for 3 or 4 years, and when I broke it, it was my slowest first half of a marathon I'd ever ran. You're pacing Uri 1:45.
Yes.
It's on the 27th of May.
Yeah.
I'm doing really well today.
On the ball.
I'm on the ball. But next week you are pacing Belfast. So tell me what's so special about that then.
Randomly, for whatever reason I do not know, it's always been something I wanted to do. Because I look, it's all men, it's all male pacers, like, where's the girls? And I did make a re-inquiry last year, but I'd left it too late, and then this year they just pushed it out that you had to apply. So I did, and I went for the whole girl power type thing, and like, you need a female,
That's brilliant.
and it worked. So I requested 4 hours, and I got 4:15. But in hindsight, I'm happier with 4:15.
Yeah, because it's quite a big crowd around that time. So
Yeah.
Belfast, I'll always go and support. When you come to like 4 hours, 4:15, it gets really crowded.
Yeah.
So you'll get a really good buzz that day. So you will.
A few apprehensions about carrying the flag.
Yeah. So it was maybe
But
good that you had 4:15.
That I've got that extra bit of leeway. Yeah.
Give it to somebody else and just tell them, keep going. So that'll be a great memory to have. So you might never win Belfast Marathon.
It's highly unlikely.
But at least you look back and say, I was the very first woman.
Yeah. I'm delighted. Absolutely delighted.
Pacing Belfast Marathon.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe you look back and think about you're the very first female to be on the Inspirational Runner podcast as well. So Guild Power all the way. And I think, just thank you very much for welcoming me into your home.
Thank you. You're
really,
very
really
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
it. I
you.
hope you enjoyed
Yeah.
the talk. Wasn't that much pressure. And that's it.
Thank you.
Enjoyed that.